Welcome to LyFiveElements, where we are dedicated to sharing the wisdom of traditional Chinese metaphysics with the world. Our mission is to teach complex subjects like the four pillars of destiny, also known as Bazi, Qi Feng Shui, and more, in simple, easy to understand English. Subscribe and share our content to help spread this ancient knowledge. Your support is what drives us forward. We also offer personalized one-on-one consultation to guide you on your metaphysical journey. Feel free to leave a comment or contact us directly for more information. Thank you for being part of our community. In this lesson, we will discuss your favorable and unfavorable elements. Hello everyone, I'm Marvin. In the last lesson, we discussed how to create your Bazi chart and determine the strength of your day master. I hope you have had a chance to practice those skills, as they form the foundation for deeper analysis. Today, we are going to move to the next exciting step, how to determine your favorable and unfavorable elements. Understanding your favorable and unfavorable elements is crucial, as it helps you navigate your life more effectively. These elements guide us in making better decisions, from career choices to relationships, and even health. So how do we go about it? After getting to know the strength of your day master, the second step in reading a Bazi chart is to identify your favorable and unfavorable elements. If you have a strong day master, you need to be controlled or consumed. A strong day master already has excess energy and does not need more support or nourishment. If more elements that generate or support the day master are added, the 5 elements will become too strong, which can be detrimental, as it goes against the principle of balance. For a strong day master, the elements that you generate, the elements you control, and the elements that control you cannot help to consume the excess energy. Thus, these 3 types of elements are considered your favorable elements. Conversely, if a strong day master encounters elements that are the same as itself or that generate it, this will further strengthen the already strong day master, which is undesirable. Therefore, these 2 types of elements are considered the unfavorable elements for a strong day master. For a weak day master, the opposite is true. A weak day master needs elements that generate and support it to strengthen it. Therefore, for a weak day master, the elements that are the same as itself and the elements that generate it are considered favorable elements. Conversely, if a weak day master encounters elements that it generates, elements it controls, and elements that control it, this will further consume its already weak energy. Therefore, these 3 types of elements are considered unfavorable elements for a weak day master. Let's open a random Bazi chart to use as a case study. Upon opening the chart, the first step is to determine the strength or weakness of the day master. The day master is red, representing fire. Next, look at the month ruler, which contributes 40 points. Fire generates earth, which consumes its energy. The day branch also has an earth element, and fire once again generates earth, which consumes its energy. Therefore, this person's day master is weak. For a weak day master, the elements that support or generate it are the most beneficial. Fire can increase the energy of fire, making it the most needed favorable element. Green representing wood generates fire. So wood is another favorable element. Next, what controls fire? Water controls fire, making water an unfavorable element. Additionally, fire controlling metal consumes fire's energy, so metal is also an unfavorable element. Finally, fire produces earth, further consumes its energy, so earth is also an unfavorable element. For this person, fire and wood are the favorable elements, while water, metal, and earth are the unfavorable elements. Let's look at another case study. This person has a wood day master, represented by green. What is their relationship with the month ruler? Wood controls earth, But injuring the enemy often results in self-injury, with so much earth surrounding him, 3 earths in total. He is weak. What's best for him? For a weak person, the same elements as theirs are beneficial. Wood is the favorable element, and water can generate wood. Thus, for this wood-weak person, wood and water are favorable elements, while the other 3 elements, metal, which controls wood, earth and fire, which wood generates, and hence consumes its energy, are his unfavorable elements. Let's explore more examples to help everyone grasp this quickly. Let's examine this Bazi chart. This chart has Earth helping Earth, adding 40 points. However, there are excessive elements that consume his energy. Wood controls Earth, and then Earth needs to control water, which also consumes him. Controlling these 2 waters, Earth then generates metal, all of which depletes his energy. The character on the year stamp can assist him, but since the year stamp only accounts for 8 points, adding this to the 40 points, he is still considered weak. So what are the favorable elements for a weak person? They are those that help him. Earth exists Earth, so it is his favorable element. Additionally, fire can generate Earth, making fire also his favorable element. On the other hand, the other 3 elements consume him. Earth controls water, wood controls earth, and earth generates metal. These are his unfavorable elements. Let's switch to another example that everyone should familiarize themselves with. The first step is to determine whether the person is strong or weak. This person is weak again because here, earth controls water. There are also 2 fires here. And water needs to control fire, which also consumes energy. So for a weak person with a water destiny, what are their favorable elements? They are water, which can assist them, and also metal, which can generate water. Therefore, the favorable elements are metal and water. The unfavorable elements are fire, earth, and wood. Let's examine this case where we have found a person who is strong. This person's day master is represented by the color gold, indicating they are of metal destiny. Let's look at their relationship with the month ruler. The month ruler is represented by the earth, and earth produces metal. Additionally, the month stamp also contains metal, which supports metal. Furthermore, the hour stamp is represented by earth, which can generate metal as well. Therefore, this person is considered strong. For a strong day master, they have 3 favorable elements. First, those that they generate, such as metal generating water, making water one of the favorable elements. Secondly, metal controls wood, so wood is also favorable for them. Additionally, there is fire present which controls metal. But controlling metal is beneficial for them because being overly strong is not ideal. Therefore, for a person with a strong metal destiny, the favorable elements are those that you generate, control them, and those they control. Thus, water, wood, and fire are favorable for them. Conversely, earth generating them and metal assisting them are unfavorable, because being strong means they do not need additional existence, which would be counterproductive. Hence, earth and metal are unfavorable for them. So today, we covered how to identify the favorable and unfavorable elements in your Bazi chart. I encourage you to try creating your own Bazi chart and finding your favorable and unfavorable elements. You can also practice with the charts of your family and friends to sharpen your skills. Please see the next lesson where we discuss how to see a person's fortune throughout their life. Don't miss out. Hit subscribe and share to join us on this incredible journey of discovery. Your support fuels our passion to keep creating. If you have any questions or need personalized guidance, leave us a comment or get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for being part of the LY5Elements family. If anything is unclear, feel free to drop a comment below. I would love to discuss and explore these topics with you. And for those of you who want to understand your Bazi chart but find the learning process too complicated, you can always message me for a one-on-one consultation. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Your support truly motivates me to keep sharing this knowledge. See you in the next lesson.